friends. Today we're going to be doing a really cool science experiment. So we've been talking about eggs this week. Does anybody remember what the word is for animals that lay eggs? It was kind of a big word. It starts with O. Oviparous. Animals that lay eggs are oviparous animals. And so we're going to do an experiment with an egg. So first we need an egg. So this is a chicken egg that I got out of my fridge. So we're going to use an egg. We need a mason jar with a lid. And we need something that starts with our letter V, which we talked about this week in our show and tell, our letter bag. We need vinegar. This is white vinegar. If you give vinegar a smell, it doesn't smell great. It has a very strong smell. But what we're going to do is we are going to try to make the shell of the egg disappear, but still keep the egg together, okay? So, is the outside of an egg, the shell, is it hard or soft? It's hard. That's right. You can tap on it and it's nice and hard. That's why the birds, when they come out, have to use their beak to peck out and break the eggshell. So, eggshells have calcium inside of them, and our vinegar is an acid. So when the eggshell is in the vinegar, the acid dissolves the calcium, and when it does this, it's going to make a gas called carbon dioxide, and that's going to put bubbles all around our eggshell. So we're going to do this. We're going to put our egg in here and our vinegar, and then we're going to watch. It takes a couple days. We're going to keep checking back to see if our eggshell will disappear. So first thing we're going to do is very carefully put our egg into our mason jar. If I just dropped it in really fast into this hard glass jar, what do you think would happen? It would probably crack open. So we're going to very slowly and very carefully drop our egg into there. You see it in our jar. Now we're going to take our vinegar and we're going to pour some vinegar into it. Now, depending on the size that you do this in, mine's a little bit bigger than we need, so I'm going to leave a lot of space on the top. But you definitely want to make sure that you leave some room because it's going to make some bubbles and some gas, and you don't want it to be too tight. And now we're going to loosely place our lid on, twist it on, and this is all that we need to do. And now we're going to wait for a couple days, and we're going to see what's happening with our egg. Let's look at it up close. What are you seeing already? Do you see some bubbles coming off of it? If you look really close, you can see that there's bubbles all over the egg. That's the carbon dioxide gas that the vinegar makes when it starts to dissolve the calcium. It makes all these little gas bubbles that start going out. So we're going to keep checking back on our egg and seeing how it's doing and see if it's going to disappear. What do you guys think? Do you think the eggshell is going to disappear, or do you think it's not going to disappear? Well, let's find out. You can see it's starting to get bubbles all over the egg that are going up. So cool. So what do you think is going to happen to the egg? Checking in on our egg. Let me see, there's lots of foamy bubbles up at the top that it's starting to make. See that white foamy bubbles? And there's still bubbles all over the eggshell, but they're not all floating through the water as much as when we first started. But they're still all over the egg. Look at it, it looks bumpy. Tiny little bubbles. But has the eggshell disappeared yet? Nope, we can still see the white eggshell. So we're going to check back a little later and see how it's doing. All right, friends, our egg has been sitting in vinegar for 2 days now. So we're going to take it out and see what happened. You can see where some of the shell is still dissolving. Now remember, the acid in the vinegar is going to be dissolving the calcium in the eggshell and making all those little bubbles. So we're going to see if it worked and what it looks like now. And take a spoon and scoop it out. It looks bigger to me than when we put it in. We'll compare in a minute. And it definitely has changed. Here, we're going to put it on a paper towel and dry it off. And then we're going to compare and see what happened. Oh my goodness, this is cool. All right, so let's see if we remember what our egg looked like when we started. When we started, what color was it? It was white and hard because of the calcium in the shell. Now, the calcium has dissolved. It looks a little bit more yellow. And guess what? It's squishy. Can you guys tell? It's squishy soft. It feels almost like a bouncy ball, like a jiggly rubber bouncy ball. So this is what it looked like when we started, and this is what it looks like now. Do they look the same or do they look different? Yeah, they're different, but they're both still an egg. Isn't that cool? Now, what would happen if I dropped a real egg, a hard shell egg, onto a hard plate? What do you think would happen? Let's see. It cracked open. Look at that. See the cracks in it? Now, what do you think is going to happen? I haven't tested this yet, so we're all going to find out together. If we drop this one, that's a little softer and squishier now. What do you think will happen when we drop this one on a hard plate? Do you want to find out? All right, let's see. It breaks. So it didn't bounce like some things we read said it would bounce because it was squishy. It still broke, but look, it's still an egg inside. It has the yolk, the yellow part, and then all the egg white. It's just that its shell, here's its shell. Is this hard anymore? No, its shell is soft. It doesn't have a hard shell to crack into little pieces like this egg. See how this one has a hard shell left? But they still look the same inside. So that was a really cool experiment to see the eggshell disappear on our eggs. If you want to try it at home, let us know how it turns out for you. Maybe if you leave yours in the vinegar even longer than 2 days, your egg will bounce. So if anybody tries it and sees if their egg bounces and doesn't just explode all over them, let us know how it goes. Hope you guys have a great day, and we'll talk to you later. Bye.